Hey folks, so got a lot of well wishes, got a lot of go get 'ems, got a lot of sorry you're having troubles, got a lot of good lucks, but I have tamed the beast. Okay, so I mean I put a comment out earlier when I put up the first video that I was getting ready to pretty much do my thing with this. Yeah, like when I got the board and stuff and I did the smoke test, well, it passed the smoke test, but then I started having nightmarish problems. So the nightmarish problem being, anyway, there it is in the radio. This is the display cabling. The sort of next step for this is, but I'll get into the problem first, because the problem is what burned. I'm just, it's one of those things where you could just scream, and I damn near did. I was pissed. I hadn't been that upset in a long time, a really long time. So, long story short, this thing's been on for probably an hour. I've been letting it cook. The temperature 101 degrees on that regulator, and that's with oh man, my meter probes are all kinds of all over the place. Let's see what the voltage going into this thing is. Let's check it right here. 13.85. So anyway, it's fine. I mean, it really is. It's fine. What was the problem? Well, I was looking for that. Got lost in the bench. I got to hook up the other encoder. Anyway, what was the problem? Holy crap. Okay, here's the rundown. Okay, I was having communications problems with the SI 5351. I'm sending it data. It's not. I'm not getting X back from it. It's not acknowledging anything. I'm looking at the bus. I'm looking because the problem with this and what's make this a little bit complicated. And here I am kicking the camera. Sorry about that. What makes this a little complicated is everything is running off of 5 volts. Okay, display is 5 volts. Microcontroller is 5 volts. Because I'm running it at 20 megahertz. I was trying to clock it as fast as possible because I wanted to get the frame rate of the display up. And at 20 megahertz, it's the freaking thing is sulky smooth. I mean, that's kind of the goal. So I opted for level shifting the I2C bus. So I got to shift that 5 volt bus down into 3.3 volt bus. So that entails some FETs to do the level shifting. Now, it's basically 2 FETs, 2 resistors, 2 FETs and 4 resistors rather. I'm sorry, and we're just taking that 5 volts and we're shifting it down to 3 or 3.3, and then that 3.3 up to the 5 volt bus. So we're just shifting it back and forth. So that said, what are the FETs? Because somebody's going to ask me, what FETs did you get to do the shifting? Somebody's going to ask me. BSS 138s works flawlessly. I've only used them a few times because usually I'm either running one thing at one speed or I2C it's 1 speed or 1 voltage, but this I had to have a 3.3 volt I2C bus, so I had to shift it. So I'm thinking, okay, there's got to be a problem with that shifting. Got to be a problem with it. But then I went and looked at the Adafruit boards, and they're doing the exact same thing, even with the same damn FETs. So I plugged the Adafruit board, one of these guys right here, plug it into the bus. I'm able to program it. It's acknowledging and everything like that. So I bodged some wires on the other side of that, right down to the soldering them fine-ass wires to the chip from there to this one. Program's just fine. Why doesn't mine work? Why doesn't mine and that board work? Especially when I'm picking the I2C data right off and stuffing it on that board. I mean, right off the FETs. I'm picking it off and stuffing it over there. And this thing is hanging off the side of it. Why doesn't mine work? Well, my chip must be bad. Okay, pull another one out, solder in, and those buggers are hard to solder, especially for a guy like me with bad eyes. Those buggers are hard. So 3D microscope back up here, solder in a new one. No dice. You gotta be shitting me. Get another one. Same thing. No dice. Verify the oscillator. Verify. Just drove me nuts. Couldn't figure it out. And still never did. So out of desperation, and this is after like, you know, I've got a Saley Logic over on the other bench. I'm over there looking at the bus because I was working over here and I was using the Rigel bus decode, and I'm looking at it. It looks perfect. Sending the right stuff. I don't understand what's going on. Go over to the other bench. Use the Saley Logic. Looks the same. No problems. Just perfect bit for bit. It's the right speed. Everything. What's wrong? Desperation hits. So I had a couple of these. I went and scarfed the chip off with one of these. Stuffed it in there. Works fine. That's just like, you have got to be shitting me. You've got to be shitting me. So, what have I got here? None of these bastards work. From Digi. I don't get it. So now I gotta figure that problem out. Like, why do I have a whole bunch of these damn things from Digi that don't work? I pulled 3 of them out of here. Did I get the 3 bad ones that I pulled out of here? I don't freaking know. None of them work. Pull one right out and it immediately works. So, either I soldered 3 of them down there bad, even though I'm looking right at the pins of the chip, verifying the voltage, verifying the bus, verifying the speed of the bus, right at the pins. So I'm pretty sure I didn't solder it down wrong. So I'm pretty sure that it ain't that. I'm pretty sure that it's anyway. Holy friggin' crap. Like 4 hours of time screwing around with that thing, and it's bad shit from Digi. I could scream. So now I gotta figure that out. Okay, Digi, how come I got bad parts? I am gonna try one more thing, because I took one of these right out of here and soldered it right to this board, and it didn't work. So I done used 4 of them now. I got them laying around the bench, or I've been desoldering the damn things. I'm even trying oscillators. I got little friggin' chip oscillators because I couldn't find any full-size ones, you know, and crystals and shit. Where I was bodging them on there, thinking, is there something wrong with the reference? Something? What's wrong with this thing? You know, here's the rest of my, you know, little piece of my chip quick from me pulling these damn things off the board. Drove me nuts. Anyway, here is more oscillator, more crystals. I'm over here screwing around with crystals trying to figure out why it doesn't work. Anyway, bodging parts onto the board that doesn't need to be bodged. There's no bodges on there now. Anyway, long story short, it works now. So, radio set for channel 20. And let's switch over to the frequency counter. Frequency counter says 27.204999. Woohoo! And I know that that counter is off. Oh, I think it's 2 hertz high. What did I say in the last video that I said that? I don't remember, but let's find out. So I'll hook the counter up to my GPS discipline oscillator. 10.000002. 2 hertz. So the internal reference on that frequency counter is off by 2 hertz. So if I am transmitting at 27.204998, then yeah, go figure. Anyway, I think that's close enough for government work, because I can work with a few hertz off. I mean, I really can. I'm not going to cry about that. So, anyways, the display is mounted back in this radio as it was in the other radio, which is just me stuffing it, you know, inside of there with some Captain tape. The big selector isn't doing anything yet. I don't know how well this is showing up, guys. I really don't. But the clarifier is working just fine. So if I wanted to change the steps, all I got to do is shift that over, and now I'm changing it in 10 hertz steps. Same thing as before. And that would be 1 hertz steps. That'd be 10 megahertz, which doesn't work. 1 megahertz steps, 100 kilohertz, 10 kilohertz, 5 kilohertz, or 1000 hertz rather. I'm sorry. Anyway, it's been a long night. Can't even freaking do math anymore. Good God. So, what's next? Scream at Digi, or Silicon Labs, them first. What I am going to do, because I have a sneaking suspicion about something, I already got one of these on this board right here. I'm going to take this board, I'm going to stuff it back in a breadboard, and I got a program that I can run on a, I don't know, I think it's an AT Tiny or something like that, that will spit out everything that it was able to probe on the I2C bus. And I'll just probe the bus and see if by some kooky reason these things are not responding to the default address, which is, I believe, hex 0xco. So I'll try that in case, but you know, this one's 0xco works fine, but this was also on this board. I remember I scrounged the chip because 4 of them later I still couldn't make it work. Anyway, so what I have to do next, because this is going to be the next thing that's fairly important, I have to finish up the code. I don't know what mode we're in because I haven't populated that part of the circuit. All this level shifting stuff over here is take the 8 volts on the mode switch and determine what mode the radio's in, because I gotta, you know, plus or minus for the sidebands when you flip the modes. So I gotta, you know, do the math and change frequencies. Because remember, I'm doing everything in here that the PLL was doing. Everything the PLL was doing is now here. So that's what this coax is going down there. It's a little bit long, but that was so that I could take it out, take the board out, put it aside. Now that thing is in there solid. Okay, that's not going anywhere. So that's because, oh, and because I got so many of these things, I'm not going to say that these are bodge free yet, because I haven't populated this part. So I don't know what mode we're in, and I haven't populated the noise toy part of it yet either, because, you know, got to know when the radio's transmitting. I haven't done the other encoder. But I really, this method of, damn it, I just put that in the wrong side of the board, but you get the idea. This method of using this, one of these guys, and just soldering it down, that's really rigid. That's worked out very well. I'm very, 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 very pleased using these for mounting. Normally for mounting heavy gauge wire to a board, but this just works. I can't complain about that mounting method. It's a little unorthodox, but it works. So I'm gonna, you know, stick to that. So 12 boards for the price of 5 from these guys right here, and I'm not getting any kickbacks. So I'm gonna send them bigger jobs just because they did such a good job on these boards. And believe me, I sat over there when I was bored and I was trying to think of something else to do other than monkey around with this, because I was getting really mad. And I went over these and I can't find any bridges or anything like that. I mean, these things are, I mean, holy smokes, good. You know, the quality's phenomenal. I'm just like, you know, ecstatic with this. This is just, you know, it's perfect. I can't find anything wrong with any of these boards. You know, I'd obviously have to stuff all of them, but I can't find anything wrong with them. So unless there's something wrong with the mode stuff, or the noise toy part, they're going to be bodge free. Which means I got it right the first time. Which, it happens, but usually I screw something up. Something. I mean, you know, this one had a bodge. You know, and this was the second go, and this one had a bodge. The first one didn't have the same bodge. I screwed up the second one, you know, but it had a bodge. These don't have any. I mean, okay, and that, you know, that was in the frequency counter on those two guys. So anyway, there you have it. Now the coax over here, I thought about SMA connectors, and you know, SMA connectors are a little pricey. I got some here. So get an SMA connector. Come on out of the bag. You know, these are, you know, edge launch SMA connectors. So they slide on the edge, and you solder them down. Okay. In fact, that's the same thing that these are. You got these contacts there. There's, because that's for an edge launch. A different one than what I got. Slightly smaller one, but still, you know, an edge launch. But having that thing stick out the side of the board, and then do a coax fitting, you know, an SMA coax fitting, you know, something like that, you know, nah, you know, come on. So I dumped it's also cost, so I dumped the SMA idea. It was a dumb idea. So what I did is I just put some I just punched a whole bunch of vias through it. So what I could do is I could solder the braid, or tin the braid all the way around. So strip it back and tin the braid all the way around. You know, not to melt the you know, the inner insulator that's over the center conductor. You know, quickly tin the thing, and then just use some old component wire and loop it over it to form like a horseshoe. Stuff it down in the board, solder it through the vias, and get a rigid edge launch kind of thing for your coax. I've done it with video before, but I never did it with this, so it worked fine. It's very rigid. You're not going to get that. I mean, you rip that off, you'll probably break the board. It's so solid. You know, and that's an FR4 board. You know, that's the 1.6 mil thickness board, I want to say. So yeah, you'll snap it. So anyways, even after all the work, I'm very happy about how this came out. I'm gonna have to now populate the rest of it, get all the mode stuff working, and then throw it in the car. Now, the car is the ultimate test. I mean, you know, do I get any birdies when I'm driving down the road? Birdies, I mean by little oscillations in the radio that I'm going to pick up. Is it going to, am I going to get birdies in the other equipment in the car? Stuff like that, you know, in the radio in there. Am I going to get anything going on in there? You know, it's stuff like that. So, and I need to do a bunch of code. But now, all I got to do is just sit here and plug in and program. So, but I'm not going to do it here. I'll go sit in front of a computer. I got to fix the computer over here. But this is not really a good spot for writing code, especially since the keyboard for the computer over here is this. Try writing code on one of these. This is for me over here, and I just sort of quick and dirty, you know, looking stuff up. That's what this is for, you know, just a quick and easy to look stuff up, and you know, the monitor over here. And, but anyway, I'm calmed down now and happy and glad it worked. But now I got to figure out this problem. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all the well wishes and all that kind of stuff, and we'll just see what happens next when I populate that, and hopefully I don't have any bodges, and throw it in the car and move on. Works fine. I'm happy. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.